Cold calling. Just hear those words, right? And some people's chests tighten, they lose their breath, they get anxiety. Listen, maybe one of those people is you. Even though you're in sales, that's how you feel about cold calling. Cold calling can arouse fear. I call fear false evidence that appears real. Most people are reluctant to do it. Also, most cold callers really just don't have the knowledge or the skills to be able to do it really well. So they end up using sleazy, cheesy, salesy sounding techniques. This basically compounds the fear because it doesn't work. There's a lot of rejection after you fail in using these techniques. Okay, making cold calls can be distasteful. I suggest you never place another cold call. You know why? I just want you to banish that term from your vocabulary. Let's talk about professional, telephone-based prospecting. What is a cold call? When a salesperson calls someone that she doesn't know, who doesn't know her, and she has no information or very little information about the prospect, robotically dialing a number after number, giving the same pitch, sales script to everyone who answers, that's a cold call. These calls are destined for failure, right? So let's look at this scenario. Let's say you're a magazine writer. You've been assigned an interview with Angelina Jolie. And you start your conversation off with, "Listen, Angelina, I'm going to do the exact same type of interview I've done with hundreds and hundreds of other people in your industry and in other industries. And it's exactly the same questions. And I don't know what your answers are going to be, but I'm not going to change anything about how I talk to you." Now stop for a minute and think. Would you do that if you were going to interview Angelina Jolie? That's ridiculous, right? Now imagine this. A sales rep picks up the phone, calls a company, gets someone that he believes to be a decision maker, and says, "Hey, I'm Brad Smith with Technology Consulting Services, a company that sells technology and IT consulting. I'd like to tell you about our products and talk about becoming a vendor for you. Now, what is it that your company does?" Sounds absurd, right? Believe it or not, conversations like this happen a million times a day. An unprepared salesperson blindly making phone calls using tired old school sales techniques, hoping that they'll find someone who's going to agree with what they want to accomplish. But hoping is not enough. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Prospecting over the phone is essential, and it's going to actually make you very successful as a salesperson. Okay? We're not talking about cold calling, we're talking about prospecting over the phone. It's a vital part and a necessary part of new business acquisition and growth. If you're a business that just reacts, if you're waiting for that web order to come in, or business coming in from an existing customer, you're going to fail. The business that is really proactive and hunting for new business, new opportunities, using telephone prospecting is going to succeed. Every business has customers that fail. They might be going into bankruptcy. They might be downsizing. They might be switching vendors. There's lack of attention from you, and so they move on to a different vendor. You need to replace that business just to stay even. You need to avoid churn becoming a big problem in your company, especially in software as a service businesses, in high tech. Telephone prospecting can do this for you very quickly using smart calling techniques. There are many forms of marketing today. If you think about it, social media marketing, direct response advertising, web marketing. All these forms of marketing are just that, marketing. When it comes to sales, and your primary job is to sell, let's say you're spending a lot of time sending out emails, putting out door hangers, posting on social media sites, doing all kinds of administrative busy work. What you're really doing is avoiding the most important function, which is talking to people. If you're sending out mail or email or posting on social media sites, you're keeping busy but you're really deluding yourself into believing that you've connected with someone. What you have to be able to do is connect with a human being over the phone and have a conversation. If you listen to Paul DeModica in his book Value Added Selling, he says, cold calling is the fastest way to increase your sales pipeline, your company's revenue, and your personal income. It's the difference between meeting a CFO of a Fortune 500 company and selling to mere supervisors. If you were to analyze the top income sales positions in the US, for example, stockbrokers, commercial insurance salespeople, mergers and acquisitions salespeople, you would find that they all cold call. In his very good book, Cold Calling for Chickens, sales trainer Bob Etherington writes, fact, in any market, 85% of the available new business go to the 5% of salespeople who know the secret of successful cold calling. Here, though Etherington is using the term cold calling, we know what he really means, right? He means smart calling. If you think about it, prospecting over the phone is the quickest, cheapest, and most interactive way to make a contact and to make a sale. What are some of the benefits of telephone prospecting? First of all, phone calling can create immediate opportunities that you wouldn't have had. Only a tiny percentage of the world's population is looking for what you sell right now. But a phone call can change that by bringing clients into a sales process immediately, even if they weren't actually considering buying your product or solution. The second benefit is creating future opportunities. Listen, most of the people you will call are not going to enter into your sales cycle immediately in that moment. However, they may be a future fit with others, even if the timing is not right today. So with regular prospecting, what you're really doing is very methodically filling your pipeline with qualified prospects whom you can stay in touch with nurture campaigns, marketing campaigns, social media campaigns, etc. So that when the time is right, you're top of mind. It also sharpens your sales skills, right? The more you practice regularly, doing the right things, the better you're going to become. Anyone can really react to an order or respond to a warm lead who contacts you. Good prospectors, on the other hand, are always working, are always practicing. Many salespeople have left the profession over the last 5 years because it's simply not as easy as it used to be. But good prospectors are always in demand. The other thing is, think of a situation when you were several weeks or months into a sales discussion with a prospect, and then suddenly they tell you that another competitor has entered the picture. What? You've planted the seeds, you've tilled the soil, you've nurtured the sale, and they come along and they try to get the crop from you. You think that's unfair? It's actually fair, but you want to be that guy. And prospecting allows you to enter a buying process that's already in progress. That's what's interesting. Every salesperson has been at both the giving and the receiving end of this if they've been successful in their careers. So these are some of the great benefits of telephone prospecting.